My name is Shane Chartrand. I'm the executive chef of SC Restaurant in the River Cree Resort and Casino. Yeah.
And how do you get started? Tell us about your journey.
My journey is weird because I never really wanted to get into culinary arts at all. When I was younger, I used to be really huge in art. I wanted to be really big in visual arts, something like that. But the thing is, my first job was I was a dishwasher at a restaurant, truck stop. So after that, I realized that the kitchen world was very interesting. And so, I was probably about 17 years old. People were already recognizing food, and they were only about a year older than I was. So the crazy thing about that was I was excited because I wasn't that much younger than they were, and they're all good cooks and running equipment and running, making breakfast, lunches, and dinners and all this kind of stuff. And I just felt like they had their own grasp of something bigger than what I did. I was scrubbing dishes, for God's sakes. And I just wanted to be just like them. So that's kind of what started it. I just wanted to be in the same shoes they were, but I wasn't able to do that. And then, so of course, a year later, I asked to be a cook, and they promoted me to be a cook, and so that's where I started.
And so, did you go for any courses at any of the culinary schools?
No, of course. So that was years. I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
So at 16, I went through about 9 restaurants, and then I decided to go to culinary school, which was NAIT, of course. Graduated from NAIT, and then I did some travels to Toronto, Las Vegas, LA, New York City, all that kind of stuff. So my real world in the Indigenous world is the fact that you got to realize I'm 43 years old, but when I was 16, I didn't know where I was from. So when I found out where I was from, I was 29 years old. When I found out where I was from the Enoch Cree Nation. And that's when I decided to start celebrating what Indigenous food's really all about. You got to realize that when you don't know your identity, what are you going to celebrate, right?
Right.
So I was really attracted to Japanese food, Asian food, Chinese food. I just found it very cultural, very deep. And then when I found out I was from the Enoch tribe, that's when I decided that, this is exciting, this is important for all of us. So then I decided to start celebrating what Indigenous food really was.
So did you go back to family to discover
traditional
recipes?
So my family's a Métis family.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't realize, like I said, I wanted to start traveling, going from nation to nation, meeting people. And that's where I started realizing what Indigenous food really is all about, and that's what we got to celebrate, right?
Wonderful. So, in terms of Indigenous food, I know you published a cookbook. So, tell me a little bit about that.
My cookbook's about community, about chefs, about people, about food, about love, religion, understanding. So the thing about that is Canadian food to me is not poutine, Nanaimo bars. Canadian food to me is about understanding the land and where we're from. That's the most important thing. Now, granted, you could say a lot of people say that because of farm to fork, nose to tail, but you got to realize those are all marketing ploys, right? Indigenous people were already doing that anyway. Right.
So you just brought this out into the forefront, and
yeah, I mean, we all want our restaurants full.
Right.
We all want to be busy, but I guess, in my own humble opinion, knowing what that is was already there hundreds of years ago. We're talking about a country that's 150 years old, but Indigenous people were here 250 years ago. Right? Mm-hmm. If not older.
So a lot of that discovery brought you where you are now at SC Restaurant.
Yeah. Well, no. SC Restaurant's my brand, but we don't do Indigenous food here. This is a casual, fun restaurant. I celebrate my Indigenous food when I'm doing events, when I'm out in Vancouver or Toronto or LA, you know, all these places that I go to. That's where I celebrate Indigenous food, because that's where I can celebrate it on a forefront, like two feet forward, I guess I can say, right?
Right.
So I don't celebrate that here. I want a nice, busy restaurant. And we are busy, and we do well. We do great food. We make our own stuff. I'm an ethical chef. I still get farm fresh food. You know, I think about the community. I think about the terroir. But this restaurant is just a nice, cool, chill place. But my Indigenous food is celebrated when I do events.
Well, that's fantastic. We're going to talk about that in our next clip. Thanks very much, Shane.